闇に覆われし遠き未来、人類の命運は風前の灯火。迫りしは異星人、反逆者、リーモンの果てなき波。無数の星々が戦火に荒れ狂う。軍を率いよ、星々を征服せよ。戦え、銀河が燃えようとも。この銀河に平和などない。あるの戦争のみ。
命征发经济，立即前往柳中城和疏勒城，救回关崇耿恭所部。
匈奴势大，山河不齐。诸位务必戮力同心，毕竟我汉庭虽广，却助不了太多你匈奴的军官。他们再次踏上汉地，抵达玉门关时，仅剩13人。
依据传绝，形容枯槁。
War is upon us, General. And you must take command. On the field, there's no second chance. Orders must be given clearly. Timing, position, and discipline will decide the day. Before a single shot is fired, your work begins. Arming the men, equipping them for the road ahead. Supplies, uniforms, and standards are yours to set. 5 nations march to war, each with its own command, customs, and doctrine. You'll cross villages and forests, back roads and battlefields. Supplies will dwindle, the men will tire, and yet, you must press on. If you make it far enough, you'll raise more than a division. You'll raise an army. Just be sure you can hold it together. Strategize. Survive and lead your men to glory. Become the master of command.
Welcome to Renaissance Kingdom Wars, an age of gunpowder and rebellion. It's time to bring back the golden days of strategy games, reinvented with modern standards, and complete with retro 2000s graphics. The 16th century was a time of transformation, and this is a living map of that world, stretching from the Atlantic to North Africa and the Middle East. You begin as a landless mercenary captain with a small band of soldiers as you sail to distant shores to fight for coin and survival. Forge your path through bloody battles that you take on as mercenary contracts, and with luck, don't die, and you'll claim your first patch of land to call home.
It's good you have returned, my lord. The peasants seem lost when you're away.
Continue your ascent to power with direct control over your first home in RTS mode. Directly manage every peasant, building, and livestock. You will slowly expand from a humble hamlet to a sprawling city worthy of your ambitions. Here, players build and manage their town, controlling every detail with their own hands. Construct key buildings to strengthen your economy, train troops, and unlock future research. Take a pause to admire the beauty of your creation. The towns are truly vast, meticulously recreated. Sail your armies to do your king's bidding. Take new mercenary contracts. The Renaissance world unfolds before you, a living map. The 16th century saw extraordinary breakthroughs in science and engineering. These are reflected in an extremely complex and rewarding tech tree. Diplomacy will be key to building relations with the king and your neighbors. The Renaissance was a time of fierce competition for trade. Access to ports and trade routes was vital for survival, so naval engagements are crucial to safeguarding commerce. Cannons were still new aboard ships in the early Renaissance, and naval engagements were often focused on boarding enemy vessels for brutal close-quarters combat. Witness the brutality of Renaissance warfare on sea and land with constant siege combat. During sieges, the RTS gameplay shines in full glory. Defenders must collect resources, convert citizens into troops, and deploy wall-mounted weapons to hold their ground. Managing supplies, healing, and troop placement will decide victory or defeat. Mercenary allies, Modern gunpowder weapons and well-planned strategies can turn the tide. Watch as enemy forces falter, retreating in disarray, while your steadfast defenses hold strong. As the game progresses, new weapons of war will dominate, and kingdoms, lagging in research, will fall. And when medieval stone walls fall to cannons, the city becomes a battlefield. Hand-to-hand combat erupts in chaos and destruction. Homes burn and the fate of nations hangs in the balance. Your goal is to unite the world under your banner, from humble beginnings as a mercenary to ruling as an emperor.
We can't take much more of this! Weapons free! It won't be the last of them.
You're going to die now. Let the void we shall make it happen.
torn by war, I, Alfred, King of Wessex, rise.
The great heathen army's invasion cost me my brother, and thrust upon me a crown heavy with duty. This isn't merely a story of a king's battle for his throne, but a saga of resilience, of decisions made in the shadow of loss, leading to a kingdom grappling with its destiny. As Wessex stands on the brink, I vow not just to defend, but to unite, forging a realm of hope, strength, and prosperity. Through cunning, unity, and diplomacy, we face our adversaries, determined to secure a future where peace reigns supreme. Join me as we embark on a quest to safeguard our people and lay the foundations of a united England. This is our story, our fight for Britannia.
Thou shalt not kill. So the priests tell us. So the Lord commands. But ambitious men do not listen. I sought no war. But war found me. I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds. But some paths, once taken, have only one ending. I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death. But that's just my story. Go write your own.
The only way to avoid this catastrophe is to have a new attitude. We must start now.
Today it is common knowledge. Espionage agents are operating everywhere.
This is a map of divided Germany, west and east, free and communist.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Channel traffic, 8 special missions, 4 air evac, and 2 embassy flights.
You may think you know how the game is played.
But this is not the game you know. This is your legacy. You decide who wins and who dies. Thrones. War for Westeros.
Dear Mother, I think of our last embrace and last goodbye. My dreams are ahead, but my heart is forever with you. The future. A frontier of new prospects, modern technology, and the exciting unknown await on distant shores. Ahead lie freedom and hope. Hope of success. Freedom to forge my own future. Of their new lives here, many recount tales of unbridled opportunity, fortune and abundance. Others tell sagas of misfortune and tragedy, crime, corruption and lawlessness. The trials we suffered at home have hardened my resolve. We know of the despair that famine, poverty and persecution can inflict. In this unprecedented era, the pendulum can swing from prospect to turmoil in a moment. Life in this new land can be challenging, yet inspiring. My hands, that once worked the soil, now craft metals in futuristic machinery. I'm not the only one searching for a new life. In the city, each avenue joins towering factories, staggering innovations and hopeful workers. The tiring work, long hours and crowded cities provide unbridled opportunity, but they represent a stark shift from the way of life back home. I often hope for simpler times once again. Stories of opportunities out west, new jobs, unlimited land, unimaginable wealth have convinced me to stay, to plan, to aim for the frontier. I look ahead to the horizon through a gilded lens. This is my destiny. A gilded destiny.
Welcome aboard USS Yorktown, Admiral. The flag pod is an interactive interface connecting your command stations. It serves as a hub, and clicking on its elements allows you to navigate between the main gameplay functions. At the bottom, the radio log and air ops timeline are always available during gameplay. They keep you updated about incoming communications and ongoing air operations. A game session exists within a detailed 3D world. Each ship and aircraft in the air or landed present on the map is active at all times. What you are allowed to see in the 3D world is defined by your difficulty and realism settings. In this demonstration, we will allow the player to view enemy forces without restriction. This Shikaku-class carrier is your adversary today. We will not engage her, but we will have aircraft spar with hers in a few minutes from now. She is actually at a view range from our formation and will appear as an unidentified echo on the sensors of the task force when in radar range, extended for this demo. The tactical view can be accessed at any time by pressing the spacebar. It shows a simplified 3D depiction of the world and allows you to give tactical orders. It is easy to navigate and acts as a hybrid interface between the strategic map, not depicted today, and the 3D world proper. Now we're back to our own force. It is centered on its flagship, carrier USS Yorktown. This ship is part of a larger formation, Task Force 17, or TF-17. It's self-divided into smaller task groups and divisions. As the flag officer, you are basically a passenger aboard USS Yorktown. You manage all the ships, aircraft, and men placed under your command. The Fleet Management screen is the first mode of the fleet plot. It allows you to browse the specs of all your ships and tactical groups. It allows you to access the status and damage reports of each and every ship. The contents of this module are still a work in progress, but that's how it will feel like. These small windows will let you access all relevant data for each type of module, such as ammunition levels for your weapon mounts or damage levels. Tactical groups can be easily selected by clicking on the fleet board, on the links in the interface, or in the order of battle panel on the left. Tactical groups display different information. They will give you an overall picture of the ships and aircraft they contain. The orders you will give in this mode will apply to all the units present within the group. Your complete order of battle can be displayed in this panel and will include all other allied units and bases, whether you control them or not. The formation editor allows you to reorganize the disposition of a given task force by customizing the station assigned to each ship. An easy-to-use interface allows you to quickly reposition single ships and divisions in the screen. Presets can be saved and reused to save some time. Using this tool, you will be able to recreate most of the historical cruise and combat formations used by the U.S. Navy in 1942. The complex but iconic anti-air ring formations will be fully customizable based on your personal threat assessment. Once greenlit, the ships will leave their current position so as to reach their new station without hampering the course and the speed of other ships. A task force is a very busy, complex environment, unfriendly to all sorts of stunts. Our AI will find the best path to its assigned destination and give way when necessary. This third mode, in the fleet board, allows you to set up defensive patrols over your task force. The two main types of patrols are the combat air patrol and the inner air patrol. Combat air patrols protect you against enemy air intruders, while inner air patrols are designed to counter submarines. Combat air patrols will be assigned a zone and an altitude. If needed, cap patrols can be set to be relieved automatically throughout the day.
Attention! Prepare the flight deck for our operation.
As the flight deck is being prepped for future air operations, these are added to the Air Ops timeline at the bottom of the screen. Blue equals prep time, red equals takeoff. In the meantime, our destroyers are repositioning themselves. This one has found an opening between USS Yorktown and USS Lexington and crosses their trajectory without issue. Carrier warfare is a game of waiting, but we'd rather not have you wait forever. Time acceleration is always available, and its factor will be further increased from its current 40 times limit. The time has come for our Wildcats to launch. Enjoy the show. Aircraft all have a flight model, even on the flight deck. Right now, in this demo, conditions are ideal, but the final game will require your task force to head into the wind in order to launch and land its aircraft, disrupting your navigation plan. All the radio messages and announcement in this demonstration are placeholders, of course. Final quality will be improved. Action can be paused at all times and is active, allowing you to browse through your units and your options. It can be customized and made inactive if you wish to increase difficulty.
Red leader, section airborne.
The tactical view also allows you to follow your air units in flight. These are organized into flights, although each and every plane is still visible on the map. The cap you launched is now climbing. The fighter direction screen offers you means to control your airborne patrols at the most critical time. Unknown and enemy contacts are reported too. Bogies are indicated in yellow. These are unidentified air contacts. When finally classified as hostile, they will become bandits and will be labeled in red. Fighter direction can be set to auto or manual mode, depending on the time you wish to dedicate to this task. Here, fighters are vectored towards bogies. As IFF gear becomes more and more common in the course of 1942, the job of fighter director might become somewhat easier too. But mistakes are still a thing, and you can never be too sure. A 2D view offers only so much info. If you are playing at a more forgiving level of realism, you can also switch to the tactical view for a better picture. Your fighters have visually identified the bogies. They are now hostile. Your pilots are engaging, and the task force is now preparing for air defense.
Zero quarters, go ahead, manual battle station. Set by for air attack.
The situation doesn't look too bright from here. Let's see how it actually feels like out there, from the point of view of the enemy Zeros. Indeed, these Zeros do enjoy a good altitude advantage over the unlucky American fighters, as these are still climbing in order to reach them. But American fighter pilots are also resourceful. Similar engagements can bear very different outcomes owing to AI choices, circumstances, and sheer luck. The final game will feature believable aircraft damage models and ballistics. With more than 30 aircraft types modeled so as to faithfully recreate the air battles of 1942, prepare for some hectic dogfights in the skies over your task force. That's all for today, folks. See you for the next feature.
Number 2, check your six.